G'day, welcome to episode 46 of the Fearless Singer podcast. Today is going to be a solo cast. I have some exciting guests planned for the next few weeks, so please stay tuned. I wanted to pop on today and just give a bit of an update because so much has happened in a very short space of time over the last few weeks. So many life learnings that honestly will change my life forever, and I want to share that with you today. And maybe because we're all being directed by the same cosmos, maybe you've also experienced something similar over the last few weeks. And also just give you a bit of an update as to what is happening in Fearless Singer HQ/land. There are some exciting things coming up, and I just wanted to share that with you. So let's get started. Well, the exciting thing is I will be relaunching the Fearless Singer Jazz Club. So that is a 6-week live training on how to get yourself on a stage in front of a jazz band singing beautiful jazz standards. You will learn a whole set of songs, but not just that, all the subtle nuances of the style. So how to back phrase, front phrase, and, make musical choices, experimenting with jazz language, knowing what the jazz language is. How do we obtain that? How to communicate with your band before the performance. So communicate the musical ideas or the arrangement that you have, as well as how to cue them during the performance so they know when you want to end. All those nuts and bolts things that sometimes scare us a bit as singers, and rightly so. It's only been a recent thing since probably a few years ago where I learned that to be able to do this isn't being rude to your band. It's clear communication as to this is where we stop to end the song. So that's the sort of things that we're going to learn in the Fearless Singer Jazz Club, as well as 6 songs, which is pretty much a set. It's a 45-minute set, providing that you've got 2 soloing instruments in the band, as well as yourself doing a little bit of a scat. A little bit of a scat. That sounds not terribly, exciting. A big scat. A big confident scat. And you'll be learning also how to get started with improvisation as well. So I'm really excited about that because I love teaching jazz. It's my jam. And I will be also offering free live trainings in the Fearless Singer Jazz Club Facebook group, which you can access now for free if you just register for the Fearless Singer Jazz Jam. What is the Fearless Singer Jazz Jam? Well, let me tell you, it's also another beautiful creative baby of the Fearless Singer community. It has been happening every couple of months. It started at the end of last year at the Bearded Lady here in West End. It's now moved over to It's Still a Secret at this point in time. And we just had our second one for the year just there on Sunday, and it was just stunning. It was such a fantastic afternoon. All of the singers were just glorious. Our band was beautiful, dynamic, supportive, and it was just a lovely electric atmosphere. It always is at our jazz jams, as well as at our Fearless Singer showcases, which our Fearless Singer members take part of. And yeah, lovely audience, lovely vibe. So that's the jam. It's a little bit different to other jazz jams or jams in general here in Meanjin, Brisbane, in that it is curated. So there is also a coaching element to it. So when you sign up, when you register, I talk you through the process of, getting your branding assets together. So your promo photo, a small bio, so that I can also promote you on my platforms on Instagram and Facebook, and share your wonderful story. And also I get your charts in advance and your arrangement ideas, so I can give that to the band earlier so they can just feel a little bit confident that they know, oh, okay, this is what this person's doing. This is the time feel, this is the key signature. They want a 4-bar intro. They want this as an outro. So getting a bit of an idea first before they go to the gig, it just makes everyone feel that little bit extra safe. Keyword safe, oh, I can feel a little bit more confident than usual because I know that the band has had my charts for a week, at least as a minimum. So yeah, it's a bit more curated than just rocking up with your chart and then giving it a go, which I think is amazing, to do that as well. There are so many fantastic jams around town here, and I have to say one of the best ones that I still take part of, and also Fearless Singer members take part in as well, is the Brisbane Jazz Club Jam that's organised by Ingrid James, who is just, again, one of those big-hearted singers, really very much about providing opportunities for other singers as well. So if you would like that experience of that rush of, okay, I'm just going to take my chart and give it to the band and see how it goes, and also test out your chops, your communication chops. That is a fantastic jam to get started on, and it's still also very loving and supportive as well. Jams are honestly such a great opportunity to cut your teeth, try out those new skills, go for those musical risks, that you've been trying out in the practice room. You learn so much on the bandstand. You really do. It's like any kind of job, really. We know that we learn more when we're doing the thing, when we're on the job. I felt like, as I'm a qualified high school teacher. I was a high school teacher for 4 years, and I learned way more in my prac than I did at university. And that's that's just the truth. I'm not even going to try and apologize for that. It's the truth. I mean, the content provided at uni is very fascinating, and yeah, that's what it is. It's fascinating, it's interesting, but you learn more in the classroom. It's the same as being a singer, an instrumentalist. You learn more on the bandstand while you're doing it. You learn how to communicate with the people on the stage. You go, oh, that chart is incorrect. Oops. I put that coda in the wrong place. And you learn also, I think what's really important, you learn the art of being uncomfortable. It's just one of those unavoidable things, is discomfort. And the more you can embrace it and be okay with it, honestly, the world will open up to you. You will surprise yourself with what you can achieve when you are okay with being uncomfortable, when you're okay with that feeling of, those fear pangs in your chest. They're just there. I'm just going to deal with it. I'm going to sing through it. I am going to prove to myself that I can show up. I can turn up on the stage and just be the most I can be in this moment, and share what I know in this moment. I'm not going to try to do more than what I know. I'm just going to be truthful, authentic in this time and space, and be a delight, be chill with your band. Help them as much as possible understand what it is that you want. And then you'll see their shoulders go, they can just chill out, and they can, they can make mistakes if they need to, and they know that you're not going to turn around and go, or that you'll make a mistake and then try and blame them. I think that's always the fear of instrumentalists, is that the singer is going to stuff up and then go, it was me, it was them. So as much as we can show that we're not going to do that. We're just, we're comfortable with being uncomfortable. We're going to do our best. Everyone will just relax, and it will be so joyous. It doesn't matter what comes out of your bloody mouth. It will feel great, and your audience will be receptive to that. They'll give you that feedback, or even if they don't, who cares? you know. It'll be lovely. And that's the beauty of performing. And that's the beauty of having that space, that opportunity to do it. And I always encourage, after you've done 1 or 2 jams, you get out there and start doing paid gigs. You should be getting paid for it. If you love it, I don't believe in, people doing things for free for too long. You get yourself out there and you charge what you're worth. That's a whole new podcast episode on we really need to start valuing ourselves as musicians, performers, and and it is a huge offering that we are providing society, and that needs to be reciprocated in energy, and money is just energy. That's all it is. And if that person in the audience doesn't have the money, they can give you a good little plug on social media or give you a kind word or even a smile, something. There needs to be that reciprocity. And actually, please go and Google the law of reciprocity. It's a powerful universal law that we should all be aware of. We're all part of an ecosystem, and we're all, it's all about give, take, give, take, give, take, give, take, give, take. It's and the more we can embrace that as creatives and really understand our value in that ecosystem, I think things will change for us. And this is, like I said, a whole other podcast episode, which I'll save for a later, juicier date. But let's keep talking about the juiciness of doing things that are uncomfortable. Remember I told you a few weeks back that I signed up for a comedy course and part of that was to do stand-up? I did it. And it was bloody awful. I was awful. Oh, no, hang on. No. Let me retract that. I thought I was awful on the night because it was after a long day. Some of you know that I do on Mondays, I work at a school, so it's an early start. I work with the choirs and little vocal ensembles during the day. It's a beautiful gig. Oh my God, it's so good. I love teaching young people. They give me hope that, the world will go on because there are just remarkable young human beings who are going to basically save us, not to put that pressure on their shoulders just now, but I believe they will. So yeah, I had a long day doing that and I was tired, and yeah, I had to come home, freshen up, and then get to the Sit Down Comedy Club in Paddington here in Meanjin, and just really put all of the principles that I teach to practice because, bloody hell, the idea of standing up and trying to make people laugh, that's where we go wrong. We don't want to try, is really daunting, especially when you're tired, and you've just gone and memorized a 5-minute script and you're like, oh, is this all going to come out okay? And yeah, I did. I wasn't feeling it, but I did my best. And of course, I'm a show woman, so I've got the chops and was able to be engaging and, did the crowd work. I think, to be fair, I'm better at improvising and crowd work than I am at writing a script and memorizing it. I'm just going to put that out there. And yeah, it was okay. But I was so proud of myself. I was proud of myself that I did it. And I also paid to have it filmed. So that was part of the, as a bit of an extra. You could get a professional film made of it. And I'm so glad I did. It was the best $120 I've ever spent, because I kind of thought, even though I was like, yeah, you're a good performer and, you're obviously dynamic up on stage. That's what you do. I thought that really wasn't that fucking funny. Like, I wasn't even laughing at my own jokes. I think that's always a good sign. And so it was good to watch it back and go, oh, people are actually laughing. It is in parts funny. And oh my God, you are incredibly dynamic and engaging. Like I was actually watching myself like going, oh, and, giving myself a little claps. I'm like, you're watching yourself, dude. Like, it's pretty funny conversations that I have with myself when I'm watching stuff back. And yeah, and I saw that, no, actually, my best work is the audience, crowd work in the spot in the moment. And I went over time. My 5-minute bit was actually 10 minutes. That was the biggest learning that, you really need to. That's something very tangible. If I want to keep doing comedy, you have to work on. You can get literally, well, not fired, but you won't be invited back to do gigs if you go over your 5 minutes, because you're essentially stealing time from other people. Obviously this was like a graduation, they were a little bit more, the lovely person that runs it, Fiona McGarry, please look her up too. She's on Instagram and Facebook, and please do her course. It was so phenomenal, so well put together. It was just, really, I was lucky. Sorry, let me go on. I went off on a bit of a tangent. I was lucky that it was just, it was training ground, which essentially this is what our jams are as well. They're just training grounds, to learn, take data from, and then implement into our practice and to be thinking about, so that when we are doing the professional engagements, we know better, we do better. When we do our next jam, we know better, we do better. So my thing now is there's been a few weeks in between that stand-up comedy graduation night, but my plan is to get out there and do more of that, because it fucking scares me. And I'm learning so much about performing, more about performing. There's no end destination with this stuff. We're constantly learning about this craft, which is so exciting to me. So, yeah, it was wonderful, because it was an experience I could collect so much data from. Is one, script it and time it. These are very basic things that we can be doing. 2, your strengths are in this, this, and this, not so much on this, this, and this. And also seeing other people perform as well. And there were better comedians there that, and that was okay to acknowledge that. Like, I guess moving away from that whole 3D hierarchy, better, that's probably not the best word, but there were people there that were more familiar with the craft, a little bit further along on their journey than me. That was really inspiring, because I went, oh, that's the format. Not so much so I told a bit of a narrative, and which is like that Billy Connolly style comedy, which I grew up on and loved. But actually I've gone, oh, okay, maybe move away from the narrative, because that way you feel like you want to get all those details in, and that's where your time starts to expand. How about you get a theme and treat it as like a couple of vignettes, maybe 3 vignettes max, for your 5-minute, and link it back to the theme and make it, here's the setup, there's a gag. Here's the setup, there's a gag. Here's the setup, there's a gag. So it was good to see it modeled by people a bit further along. So then I can see and feel the rhythm of oh, that's what I'm meant to do. Okay, great. And this is what Fiona meant when she said this, this, and this in the course material. So this is why it's great to do a course, but also follow it with a performance, because then, the content then makes way more sense after you've done it. And also, it just reminded me again that we don't have to be perfect at this stuff. Especially when we're new to the game. Even if we're further along, it doesn't matter. To always be learning, always to be growing means that we're alive. It's part of the gig of being human and being a creative and a performer, and it's really about embracing it and loving it. So that was that experience. And actually, I just realized it really ties in beautifully with this episode about, the the jam, giving yourself those opportunities to cut your teeth, and also give yourself the opportunity to learn the skills. Sign up for the courses. If the Fearless Singer Jazz Club doesn't align, there are other courses out there that you can do. Just do a little bit of a search online. There's some incredible artists from all around the world that are offering jazz courses. There's also wonderful apps. One of our beautiful Fearless Singers, who's also very well known in the music scene, is a gigging performer. Paula Hackney uses Scatability app. I think it was created by Michelle Weir. There's so many tools out there for all of us. Get them, work with them, and then give yourself the opportunity to try it out. And this is where the jams come in. Apologies for being repetitive. I know I keep coming back to those points. So if that appeals to you, this idea of getting up and performing, I've got two more dates coming up for the Fearless Singer Jazz Jam. I can't announce them yet because they need to be confirmed by the booking agent. So please, or the venue that I like to have those at, host those at. So if you would like to do a Fearless Singer Jazz Jam, please I'll put the link here. And also, if you go over to fearlesssinger.com, you'll see there's a link there to register for the Fearless Singer Jazz Jam. That just means that you're on a bit of a waiting list, but you will have to go through and just do a couple of extra little things. You don't have to do it straight away, which is part of the registration is I will help you also write your bio, and it kind of gets everything organized. So as soon as that date's released, and if you're available, you're in. You're doing the jam. And like I said, there is some coaching around getting you ready for that as well. So, and it's all free because I am very big on providing those opportunities for you. Why? And this is really exciting to always talk about this. Why? Because Fearless Singer is about elevating singers. Because my personal belief is that our voice is something powerful and special. It carries our unique qualities, our DNA, our life story, not just our life story, but also our ancestors' stories. It comes through our voice and in the form of energy, and I do believe we can heal people with our song, with our spirit. It's not that we are healing them, but I guess, operating on a higher frequency, and when that person, that audience member, is permeated with that, it has the power to also bring them into a higher frequency as well. Or even if we want to move away from the spiritual talk, even if it's just you up there being your authentic, beautiful self, might be enough for an audience member to go, oh, I'd love to do that. I really want to do that. That person's doing that. I can do that too. And that is healing. That's powerful. So it's not that we are healers, we're just the conduits for healing for people. And that's why for me, I just think it's really important to find that stage for people, to provide that opportunity. And like I said, I mentioned the Brisbane Jazz Club Jam. If you are keen to do that as well, it is an excellent opportunity to sing at the Brisbane Jazz Club. Ingrid is beautiful. She always books incredible players as well. It's a lovely atmosphere. So if you're interested in doing that, please reach out. I can shoot you through her email as well. And yeah, there's a lot of great things happening in this space, in this city, in this very regional city of Meanjin. And so yeah, that's that update. Is if you would like to register for the Fearless Singer Jazz Jam, do that. And while you're in that, there's a Facebook group that's dedicated to that. And then you'll also receive some free live trainings leading up to me launching the Fearless Singer Jazz Club. Now, I am not in the business, even though it's free, I'm not in the business of providing fluff, 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 fluff. It is practical, useful, powerful tools that if you just take some of those principles in the free trainings and start to implement them, you will find there are changes in your singing, in your confidence and your life. So please come and be part of that. And and if you decide that's enough for now, then that's great. I'm happy. That makes me so happy. I just want to be of service. That's basically it. And if you are keen to, if you've made it this far, by the way, thank you. If you are keen to also, wink, 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 get the Fearless Singer Jazz Club for free, if you sign up to the Fearless Singer membership, which is it's live coaching every Monday night. If you can't come on the Monday night, there's replays available. So it's a vocalizing session. So you're working with your voice, learning about your vocal instrument. So the function, the instrument and the muscles and the function. And, you're showing up for your voice every week. We also do life coaching as part of that. So there's a big chunk session of we do a reading, and that's a framework for the week that we keep each other accountable. There's also vocal challenges. There is also a truckload of resources in there because it's been going for over a year now. So there's heaps of classes in there. Also once a month we do themed classes. And they go for a bit longer than the usual check-in. They go for about 2 hours and they're about different topics, and they can range anything from songwriting, getting started with songwriting, going deeper with songwriting, nervous system regulation, so toning your vagus nerve, singer branding, mindset, vocal anatomy and function. So there are actual classes in there that you can watch right now once you're in, and then be coming every Monday night as well and being part of our incredible community who are doing such amazing things. We've got people doing one-woman shows. We've got an actor who is now a singing, performing drag king. We have an already established singer in the scene now doing festivals and creating really big opportunities for herself. So honestly, people from all walks of life doing incredible things and all beautiful and supportive and really there to cheer you on. Power of community is just something that you don't have the words to describe how awesome it is. So yeah, that's what the Fearless Singer membership is. Also too, I just want to put out there that this will be the only way to work with me also over the next year, and maybe even moving on. So the come in and benefit, and also get the Fearless Singer Jazz Club, which, by the way, wink, 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 will be way more. It will cost more than the actual fee of being in the membership, which is $500 a year. It's a 12-month commitment. $500 for over 50 classes and all this free resources and a lot of a lot of that support leading up to the jams as well. Oh my God, I just get such incredible feedback from punters that have come to the jams, that have seen where our Fearless Singers have started off and seeing them now that are just even last Sunday that are just like, their minds are blown. So yeah, you do get the transformation if you do the work in our Fearless Singer group, and you also get the love and support of a community. So I'll put the link to that too. So that's the Fearless Singer membership. It's a 12-month membership. You do have the option to sign up just for 3 months if you want to check it out. It's you get more of a discount if you sign up for the year. And yeah, you'll get the Fearless Singer Jazz Club for free, which will be priced because it is going to be, you'll be learning 6 songs, going through the nuts and bolts of improvisation, learning the harmony, going deeper, and also live trainings. So it will cost more than the cost of our yearly membership. So you might want to jump in on that. All right. So I guess, yeah, that's all I have to report. I've got like I said, some beautiful guests lined up over the coming weeks. So stay tuned for that. Again, if you've got any questions about anything that I've talked about in this episode, please reach out to me. I'm at Mel Lathouras on Instagram, or if you go to Facebook, Mel Lathouras, just type in Mel Lathouras, I'll pop up. Also, if you go to www.fearlesssinger.com, there's a little chat box. I'll get your messages there as well. So reach out. If there is anything that I mentioned in this episode that really resonates with you, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. I always love to hear your key takeaways. And I just also want to say thank you so much for listening and being you are part of the community still. If you are engaging with these podcasts, even if it is sporadic, you catch one every now and then. I'm very excited to report that I've had over 1,000 downloads on the Fearless Singer podcast, which I just think is insane. If you put 1,000 people into a room, oh my God, that's a lot. So I just want to say how grateful, deeply grateful I am. And I'll check in soon.